In this lesson, we'll start to build out some of our walkways using some basic modeling techniques. Let's dive in. All right, now that we've got this area sort of established at least, I want to take a little bit and start to figure out what we want to do for our walkways here, just to give them like a little bit more detail. And then we can start applying shaders to everything to see how our scene's feeling. So with our kit bash stuff, I do have some of these like walkways, but they're like kind of big and bulky and might be a little bit in the way and might take too long to sort of adjust to my scene. So I'm just going to use sort of like my existing stuff and just like model some like quick interesting bevels in here and there to give it some more details. I'm probably going to change the railings because I don't like how they feel, but we'll see in a bit. One thing I will suggest is to not use these kind of walkways because it's going with this shader, it's going to draw a line around every single one of these plane shifts and it's just going to come out as like a big mess. Like you won't be able to see like any of the details just because it's like so fine. So it's just going to like turn out into like one big black blob. So I suggest to stay away from these kind of super small details like that and just keep it to nice flat geometry planes. I'm just going to work on this area here because I know I want to do something cool with like a little bit of a bevel here and then have like a little like computer booth setup. And then to support the walkways, I want to have like some like nice support beams. Like how you can kind of see on these pieces here, how they have like the nice support underneath it, and it just gives it a little bit more detail and interest. Turn off the block out. I'm just going to grab this guy for now. Frame him up and then control drag him out of that group and then put him into a new symmetry. This one will be our good walkways. Or actually, we already have the walkways group, so I'll just add this guy into there. And then delete that. And then in this block out, I'm just going to turn it off for now. Just because I know where like this front area is and just want to work on that for a bit. Just grab the points tool. I want to select all these points over here and just move it so it's kind of centered like that. And then let's go into line mode, and I'm just going to start adding some edge loops in that allow me to create some cool sort of like outcroppings and stuff. So when you click M, it'll bring up this sort of tools window, and then I'm going to push M and L, and it'll bring up the edge loop tool. And then you can see you can sort of like add edge loops to wherever you need. So I'm just going to add like a few down here. And maybe some right there as well. And then we can go into base mode. I'm just going to grab that edge and bring it out there. And then let's grab this guy and do that just so we have like a little interesting like step going on. These guys feel too close together, so I can come in here and double click to grab this edge loop. I'm just going to bring it out like that. And then on this guy here, let's say we can just come in here and do something interesting like that. just to add like a little bit of like detail to it. And then I kind of want to repeat this sort of shape along here. We might not see it in the end, but it'll just like help give a little bit of detail in case we do see it. And then go back into a translation mode and just bring that in a bit. I'm just going to come here and just move this guy out of the way. I'll rotate him 90 because I know there's the walkway along here that I want to have the railing for. And now we have like a nice little area where we can have like a few like control panels. Now I'm just going to take this guy and slowly just start extruding stuff to help fill out the rest of these areas, and then we can start extruding down. And I'm going to probably just extrude it down and then use this lower piece as a separate piece. I don't think I want to do stairs because that might give it too much line noise and I'll sort of break up the flow of the scene too much. So let's go and grab our faces again. And I know I kind of want to like grab it from here. Let's do this little thin guy there. Turn that off. Just come in here and grab all those faces. And then we could do MT to extrude, and then you just click and drag out to the right. And you'll see that'll drag out like the extrusion there. I'm just going to click the translation tool and just slide it all the way down. Then we can come in here again and do the M and L to grab the edge loop tool. And just start to add in some loops here that might be able to give it some interesting shapes. Maybe do something that kind of frames up this door a little bit. And let's come down here and maybe add a couple more. Maybe we can do something like that. And on this guy, let's do one of these sort of inset bevels. So you'll see that like these lines are close together. So I'll just want to make sure I grab enough of that. So I'm just going to go into the vertices mode and just marquee select all those guys and just tuck that in there. And then here, let's do something where like maybe the pathway gets to be pretty narrow. So I'm going to select all these outside loops here and just tuck it right in there. Maybe something like that. We can see how it feels. So yeah, now we're starting to get a little bit more interest on our platform there. So I'm just going to kind of poke at like the rest of the platforms and I'll show you guys what I did in a bit. I just wanted to show you guys quickly kind of what I was doing here. So I'm kind of adding in these little inner extrusions. And this kind of helps give it like a little bit that's more built out of like bigger like slabs instead of all just one solid piece. So to do that, I'm just coming in here with my little edge loops. And then clicking face mode and then do U and L to go into loop. and then M and T to extrude. And I'm just dragging it a little bit to the left here so you can see where it's starting to shrink in. And I'm just going into vertices mode and then selecting that whole thing and just kind of shrinking it a bit too, where it feels good. So it looks like someone can't really like trip on it, but it still gives a little bit of that detail. I'll do one on the end of this guy as well, just to look like it's like joining up nicely. And then let's grab the faces here. Let's grab that edge loop and then the very edge face. And we'll do an extrude on that guy. So it might be slightly awkward. A lot of it might just going into the manual scale mode now. Kind of playing with that until you have like that nice little edge there. Okay, so now that we have the first pass of our walkways modeled, in the next lesson, we should have enough stuff in our scene to start to bring in our toon shaders and start to see what our scene looks like with all the toon shaders applied.